Hello, I'm Robbie Fowler and you're watching Redmen TV.
Hello, welcome to the Redmen TV and even the tour. Brendan Rodgers, mighty Reds, return to winning ways against Kevin Ball's Sunderland side at the Stadium of Light. Jesus wept. I actually said, those of you followers on Twitter after Redmen TV will have been aware that I did say that I would happily see us returning to those heart-wrecking 1-0 wins that we opened the season with so convincingly. And although we didn't do it in score, we certainly did it in performance. Jesus wept. But that being said, if you know, would you take a Premier League title if you knew that we had to win it by winning all of our games in this fashion? Answer me in the comments below. I am interested to know this. Would you rather see us play in style and lose a few more points, or would you rather us basically have no fingernails left and have fingers basically as stubs if we're going to play that all season? Have those kind of performances all season and win the league? Let me know in the comments below. I have a comment. I'm going to do a comment of the week because I want to bash through this because I'm feeling full of it and a little bit of myself. Comment of the week on Facebook. Andrew Zhang says, Toure was brilliant once again, as he was. Saka had some shining moments, still a bit shaky at times, with 3 goals while being second in the table is hard to complain about. Well, yeah, you'd think, wouldn't you? But people do complain. So let's address some of the issues that people are moaning about. The midfield, Stevie and Lucas. I think on the top of the game, when they're fully fit and it's all, everything's working harmoniously, I think that's a smashing midfield. But at times, I think they need an extra body in there. And when we move Hendo a bit more centrally was definitely an idea. And we tried that against Man United as well. I do think, and the thing is, I think we're limited at the minute. We can't see that. We've got no Joe Allen. Or at least Joe Allen's not back to full fitness yet, and we're having to play Henderson out on the right wing back position to make up for the lack of Glenn Johnson. So I think we would rotate our midfield more. I think Steven Gerrard needs a rest because he does look as though he's playing within himself. But that being said, I thought Lucas had a very good game, and apart from picking up the now mandatory yellow card, which means he'll miss Palace, I thought it was sad. I just think they needed someone there to help carry the water a little bit more when it was when the going got tough. As mentioned, Henderson not a right wing back, but I think he performed admirably. Misplaced passes, his crossing wasn't great, but who else would you put there? Anyone who's being hypercritical of Jordan Henderson at right wing back, can you let me know in the comments below who you think should play instead? And I know the obvious ones are going to be Martin Kelly. Fine, say if you think it's Martin Kelly, say below. But do you think Martin Kelly is a better athlete than Jordan Henderson? Do you think he's better in the opponent's half with the ball at his feet? Do you think he's better running with the ball? I don't know, and I think there's a lot of pressure being put on Martin Kelly, but you know what, I'm answering your question for you. Let me know who you think would be a more suitable alternative to Jordan Henderson, right wing back, in the comments section below. Moses is the 10. No, I said this after Man United, he's not a 10. I think he performed admirably. He's definitely a winger, and I think again, if Philip Coutinho's fit, Moses wouldn't be playing. It's as simple as that. Or he may be pushing a bit further up, or if he wants to switch the tactics around. I think he's a winger, and I said this on the subscriber show last week. He's definitely a winger. We saw him when he gets wide and he's got a little time to waste. I think he can cause problems, and he's a great person to have in the squad. Don't get me wrong, and I like Moses, but I just think right now he's not creative enough to be in the 10. And in some respects, I'd almost maybe would you sacrifice the goal scoring of Luis Suarez to drop him a bit deeper? This is the dilemma that Rodgers faces, so I don't know fully the answer to that, so let me know. Mignolet, the commentator seemed determined, was it Tyler? Was it Martin Tyler on Sky seemed determined to point out how shaky Mignolet was? I don't think he did that badly. I think you go, oh, he's lost another one. A lot of the times I saw him come out and get hands on things, and to be honest, as long as they get your hand on something and they don't score, I actually think he'd done a good job there. Now, of course, that's there's a case to be made that could drop anywhere, but you know, as long as it's not dropping to to attacker's feet and it's not going in, I'm prepared to let him go. Speaking as a card-carrying member of the Goalkeepers Union. That being said, we could even have lost that game if it wasn't for him and the saves he made. He made 2 absolutely top-class saves. When another day and maybe with another goalkeeper we might have conceded there, so I think you've got to give Mignolet some credit. What was great, fuck this negative shit, what was great, look, we had a big fucking fat slice of luck, twice, yes! First off with Daniel Sturridge, just doing that shit. You just throw your head towards it, then it's as good as scoring a header, isn't it? Because the intent was there. No, we got away with that one. He definitely has his arm and go in. Fantastic. I'm not going to complain about that. You know, Karma's a fucking bitch. You beach ball bastards. But also the blatant back pass into Mignolet's hands inside the goal mouth. Yeah, Carrying, remember, goalkeepers union. Yeah, that's a back pass. Well, I can see, you know, you can make a debate that he's tried to clear, he's miskicked it into his hands, but really, you know, you try that in a court of law, it looks dodgy to me. But fucking hate a big fucking fat slice of luck, just like that. Second half goal. Woo! We can score goals in the second half of football matches. Fucking get in. Have that. 3 titles all ours. No, all these people who thought this was going to be like an ongoing problem. We're shit in second halves of games. It's not always going to be so. Not always. Eventually, we were going to score goals, and when you've got 2 essentially world-class centre forwards on the pitch, the chances of you scoring second half goals increase, you know, exponentially, basically. Bringing me on to, of course, the SAS. Yes! We've got the kind of SAS now that will make Andy McNabb piss in his khaki kecks. Have that. I've heard it said there's comments that will be running along the bottom. I heard someone say, do we have the best attack in the league? Do you think there's a better forward partnership in the league right now than Daniel Sturridge and Luis Suarez? Let me know in the comments below. I think the only one I can think of that comes close is Rooney and Van Persie. But as Wayne Rooney performed to the kind of level that these two are performing, and bear in mind Luis Suarez hasn't played a lot of football because of a certain incident that might have happened at the end of last season. You know, he's still not back in full fitness. He scored 2 goals today. Happiness. And they seem to be linking up. The people who said they couldn't link up, well, fuck you. That looked to me a little bit like Daniel Sturridge setting up 2 goals, having already scored one himself for his strike partner. Long may it continue is all I can say. And Sakho, beast. In fact, Sakho Toure, beast. Skirtle, beast. Still a bit shaky at times, but no, I think the beauty of Sakho, again, he just impresses me, continues to impress me, because he wants to play football, because he looks like a groch, and you know, he's meant to be dead strong, isn't he? He's breaking weight machines in gyms, he's obviously a big lad as well, but he likes a pass, he likes to try things, and that's probably got him in trouble a couple of times, but that's the kind of player that Brendan Rodgers wants, and if that's what he wants, then fair fucks, that's what I want to see. That's the kind of player I want to see at the back of Liverpool, and what's even better about it is he's keeping Daniel Agger off the side, who needs a kick up his arse big time. All you've got to do is look at how much better Martin Skirtle is now than he was last season to see how having a little bit of competition for your place isn't necessarily a bad thing. So I love Daniel Agger, and all your Aggerites out there, chili beans. I fully expect him to come back into the Liverpool side, and soon, but it's not going to do any harm to have him think that if he doesn't play to the absolute utmost of his ability, then he won't be playing next week, and I think every Liverpool player should feel that. So fucking happy days, long may it continue. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that. Who was your man of the match? I'm going to give man of the match to Benjamin Suarez. No, I'm going to give it to Daniel Sturridge, because you can't not. Scores a goal, as mentioned, and sets up 2 as well. Top banana. Absolutely, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Daniel Sturridge, for just being you. Yeah, let us know if you disagree. Let me know in the comment section underneath. If you haven't watched it yet, presumably, you know, you all watch the show. Most of you, I presume, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you don't, click the fucking button, you lazy twats. We've also did a little bit of a special feature with the lads from Liverpool in the 21s. Last week, we got them to take the Xabi Alonso challenge on the 7th anniversary of his famous goal against Newcastle United, which was a complete of circumstance and timing, but nonetheless, check that video out if you haven't seen it already. It was brilliant. We had a top laugh. I was desperate to save some future Liverpool starlets' efforts. Find out if I did or not. And find out if they're any good, yeah, compared to Mould Alexandria we had last time. Anyway, yeah, watch that. There's loads of other stuff going up on the channel as well, and there's going to be loads more coming this week. Do check out the subscriber shows this week. Kissy Page was on holiday, so it's all change on the sofas. Me and my hopefully 3 guests. Let's see how the booking goes between here and then. I'm pulling this game apart in much greater detail than I can possibly do here, as well as looking forward to Crystal Palace next week and all the Premier League games, and rounding up all the biggest Liverpool news on the World Wide Web on 3 subscriber shows. It's free for a month, so do check it out. All you need is a PayPal account, and it's automatically free. You sign up, you go through it, you get a free month. If you think it's shit, you fucking cancel it, don't you? Simple as that. In fact, if any of you watching, you are a subscriber, tell people in the comment section below how boss it is. Sell it for me, please. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Sunderland fans. And we'll see you next week. Ta-da.